Global Gobeshona Conference. And today is our session on food security and agriculture. I welcome you all to the session. Today, more than 800 million people across the globe go to bed hungry every night. And climate change is a crisis multiplier, aggravating the food insecurity. The Gobeshona Conference is a knowledge-sharing platform that was formulated by late Professor Salimul Haq. Professor Salimul Haq was advisor. Was advisor of Black Climate Change Program. We acknowledge his contribution, care, and love to us. Black Climate Change Program is the organizer of this session today on the theme food security and agriculture. We will have a question answer session after the keynote and the panel discussion. The session will be chaired by Dr. Mohammad Liaquat Ali, Director of Climate Change Program, Urban Development Program, and Disaster Risk Reduction Program of BRAC. BRAC is the world's largest development organization. Our keynote speaker is Abu Shaddad Moniruzzaman Khan, Program Head, Climate Change Program, BRAC. And the speech today is an adaptation clinic, the solution of food security. We have Dr. Ahmed Khairul Hassan, Professor Agronomy, Bangladesh Agriculture University, and Dhoritri Kumar Sarkar, Deputy Secretary, Government of Bangladesh, with us as panel discussion. The session chair, Dr. Mohammad Liaquat Ali, is Director of Climate Change Program, Urban Development Program, and Disaster Risk Reduction Program of BRAC. Dr. Ali has over 30 decades of experience. He worked with, before BRAC, worked with WaterAid Bangladesh, FCDU, UNDP, and Bangladesh Water Development Board. He was the Deputy Managing Director of Bangladesh Dhaka Water Supply and Sewerage Authority. Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology graduate, Dr. Ali has his PhD on hydraulic engineering from Wageningen University and the International Institute of Infrastructure, Hydraulic and Environmental Engineering, Delft, Netherlands. I'm inviting Dr. Mohammad Liaquat Ali to open the session.
Good morning, everybody. So the session is open. So proceed, Mr. Taposh.
I unmute korte hobe.
So I am on mute. You are not listening?
Yes, we are listening. Yes, we have listened. Thank you.
So, okay, Taposh da, you can proceed. Taposh da, you are mute.
আমার ল্যাপটপে স্পিকার দাও
কথা বলতেছে শোনা যাচ্ছে না শোনা যাচ্ছে ওকে
স্পিকারটাই করে হ্যাঁ এখান থেকে
Now, I will talk at the end of the presentation, and I will conclude at the end. So please proceed now with the keynote, and you can introduce the other panelist. সমস্যা কি না ওনাকে তো বললাম যে বাকি
यहाँ पर mute हो गया।
Our keynote speaker is Abu Shadat Munir Khan, is the program head of BRAC Climate Change Program. Mr. Khan mm, has around 30 years of experience in leading projects and program. Over those years, Mr. Khan has established himself as a development practitioner and solid knowledge of climate adaptation action through academic engagement, action research, a lead reviewer of studies, and hands-on project implementation. Graduate of Geography, Mr. Khan has 3 MSc. MSc in Geography from University of Dhaka, MSc in Natural Resource Management from Asian Institute of Technology, and MSc in Geography and Environmental Resources for Southern Illinois University. Welcome Abu Shadat Munir Khan for the keynote paper. Munir bhai.
Thank you, Taposh Ranjan Chakraborty, Dada, and also thank you, our panel chair, Dr. M. Liaquat Ali. Can you see it?
Yes, Munir bhai.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, and also welcome to today's session. And the topic is a little bit different, that food security, and we are talking about one solution, which is basically locally led solution. And the name also came from the local community. Before starting my presentation or to share the information on the topics, today's topic, some of the Bangladesh related information I need to share so that it could easily link with the adaptation clinic approach. Bangladesh is one of the most precarious and unpredictable countries due to climate change risk. It is basically like regularly stricken by annual flooding or storage of water during dry season. It frequently suffers from cyclone storm surge along with changing groundwater aquifer situation. Most of the land mass comprises of floodplains, and up to 30% of the country experience annual flooding during the monsoon season, while 60% of the country is susceptible to extreme flood. Again, the national growth and poverty reduction policies and strategies need to integrate and expand efficient adaptation measures for a sustainable growth pathway. At the local level, the community in the vulnerable parts of the country need coping mechanism to adjust the adverse climate hazards. In addition to the current strategies and policies addressing their urgent issue, innovative, unique, and contextual adaptive measures need to be devised. Among the numerous potential unfavorable outcomes of climate change, the risks posed to the agricultural sector and the food industry are among the most disruptive to the health of the citizen, to the economy and growth in Bangladesh. Agriculture comprises a vital economic sector in Bangladesh, amounting for nearly 11.22% of the GDP and 45.33% of the labor force, according to the 2022 information. The performance of this sector has significant effect on economic growth, trade balance, budgetary position of the government, the intensity and patterns of poverty and malnutrition in the country. Furthermore, agriculture sector is the contingent source of income and employment for most of the poverty-stricken rural residents. The achievement of the food sufficiency continues to be a key development agenda for the country. The UN Sustainable Development Goal 2 aims to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition. and promote sustainable agriculture. The contemporary challenge of Bangladesh is to provide productive, specifically as demand for food increase with the growing population and improved incomes, whereas climate conditions are depleting. On the other hand, overuse, decline, and changes in resources quality place further pressure on the scarce land and water resources. The climate change vulnerability context in Bangladesh, probably we are very familiar with this figure. We know that people living in the vulnerable settings are exposed to climate change impacts such as heat waves, erratic rainfall, sea level rise induced salinity nutrition, increased intensified cyclone, flood, riverbank erosion, and droughts like situation. These all are common, but once these events are not, we're very familiar with the Bangladesh context. And basically it's affecting our food security and nutrition, water availability, human health, and also livelihood. Overall, it's increasing the poverty and creating unprecedented displacement and social crisis. The climate change, these are the, if we see the climatic events and impact on agriculture, probably that increased temperature, decrease agricultural yield, feedstock, increase heat stress in the livestock. So those who are very close to and working in the agriculture sector, these words and terms are very familiar. And any, for example, changing rainfall pattern, it really scared me, scared us, and also scared the local community. Because when we have seen the rainfall pattern or changing rainfall, it's sometimes water scarcity for crop and livestock as a part. The water is not only for the human being, but at the same time, livestock and for the vegetation, we need this water. So water for life and livelihood is very, very important in the context of climate change. And the increased severity of drought, especially our northern part of the Bangladesh and also some other part of Bangladesh, it's very common, which basically decreases the crop yield. Some of the figures, it's very, very important. We know that our total land is 14.57 million hectares of land. And whereas 8.8 million hectares is land, basically our cropland. And non-agricultural land is 2.4 million hectares. So you see the agriculture sector is basically all around. And most productive land is that we are using. But at the same time, something is happening in the country. When we are like small, or even when myself, when I was studying at the school level, that time we heard from our parents that we are getting crops from our land 3 times. But now the single crop land is increasing. Double crop land is decreasing. Triple crop land also decreasing. Why? Is the land completely fallow land? Or what happened? Why we are not using this land? This is a very fundamental question. We need to think why this land are, under cultivation. We're a small country, but our land is very fertile. What happened? Why we are not producing anything in that particular fertile land? That is a big question. And in the, we know, because of the salinity, very common feature in the coastal zone in Bangladesh. And this salinity is basically increasing and basically decreasing the crop production. Why salinity? It's very much related with climate change, especially sea level rise. It's also that scientific article also that justify and evident that sea level is rising. And we are facing that changes in our coastal belt. And due to that, our farmer unable to produce some of the seasons. And in 1973, 83.3 million hectares affected by the salinity, and 2009, 106. If we have the 2023 data or 24 data, it must be much higher. And drought affected area also increasing. So overall, we have seen the amount of fallow land has increased 12 times in the last 30 years. 12 times. This is a big challenge. Yes, government is trying to do, NGO sector, civil society organization, we are also trying our best. But there is a gap, some little bit of gap. Something is missing. BRAC, we are trying to figure it out. What would be the solution and how to minimize that gap? We come up a solution, it calls adaptation clinic. It means like if any, like for example, me or our chair of the session, Dr. M.D. Liaquat Ali, or any of the participants, if we get sick, we used to go to hospital. And the government hospital, they do some diagnosis test. And also, if any poor person also gets some medicine also free of cost. And also they gave some prescription. Please follow this prescription and come back after 3 months. Similar concept we are using. If our land gets sick due to any climate change impact, we are requesting our farmer, please come to our adaptation clinic. We'll give you the solution. We are trying to give you the solution, what is available in the country. And most of the solution, they knew it. We are trying to add some holistic support and one-stop service that when our farmer came to us, so that they can get a clear whole year picture. That we started from our adaptation clinic. And it's basically, I mentioned that it's provided holistic service, including climate adaptive agricultural technology, advisory support, agri input support, most importantly, weather-based information, market linkage. It's not that we are generating all information. Information is available. And we know that information is power. And we are trying to connect this power so that local community, that local particular, that vulnerable people can get access to this information so that they can make themselves more resilient for that particular area. He knows better than everybody. But what is lacking? It's information and right support. From our adaptation clinic, last 2 years, we have provided support to the 11,165 farmers, 16,457 bighas of fallow land under cultivation through climate adaptive agriculture. And we have also data that it has increased 221% average cropping intensity. Why this adaptation field? Before telling you or describe a little bit of why this adaptation clinic, we need to know what is the food system. Typically, food system describes all the elements of manufacturing, processing, transporting, selling, storing, consuming food. To be very precise, the food system encompasses particular action, resources, and structure that collectively influence the level of food security within a region or community. So, from our presentation, probably you could easily link how this food security different component link with the adaptation clinic. As I mentioned, that why this adaptation clinic? Because we are using or at the same time incorporate climate change lens in agricultural practices. All the lens is basically context specific, because when we think about the climate adaptive agriculture for the Bahrain, we have different lens. And when we are thinking about coastal areas, especially the climate intervention, we have different lenses. But at the same time, in our floodplain also, it's basically depend on which climatic events is basically impacting. And also to reduce the carbon emission and become climate smart by resources, technological intervention. And to meet farmers of holistic services, but by climate adaptive agriculture practice, and minimizing significant gap in providing farmers need-based and instant support. So this is the relationship, basically, adaptation clinic and food security. If we consider the four pillars of the food security, which is availability, access, utilization, and stability. And access, basically having adequate income or resources to access appropriate food. We also provided high value crop in our homestead vegetable production. We are also using stress tolerant crop varieties, distribution and rational use of fertilizer, pesticide, and we are most of the cases we are using biopesticide and biofertilizer. So also, again, the context specific adaptive technique we are following through our adaptation clinic. The most importantly, that availability part, we are provided them a year-round calendar so that they can understand in this season what they are going to consider which crop, and also the last year, like last season. So it's comprehensive design so that one farmer can familiarize with the whole year-round practice, and we believe that they will follow similar practice in next year. And we will also continue providing support, knowledge support, so that they can continue and they can get a new information so that they can make themselves ready for any type of impact. Yes, we have experienced and also implementing 13 adaptation clinic in these locations: Jamalpur, Patuakhali, Nauga, Joshua, Satkhira, and Bagerhat. Those who are listening this presentation, if you want, you are most welcome to visit our adaptation clinic in these places. This is the modality. We have main four pillar: input and machinery support, advisory support, farmers capacity building, and weather information support. Basically we are acquiring all the weather information from the Totho Batayan and also the different government channels. And as I mentioned that the services they are getting, it's very unique. And we'll also follow the, when we select one any union, we do the community climate vulnerability assessment and do the climate agriculture profiling and farmers profiling also. And every adaptation clinic has a advisory committee, and those advisory committee formed by the local knowledgeable person, from school teacher, from college teacher, union parishad chairman or member, those who are very well known about their particular agricultural that society, who very well connected with the system. They are basically part of the advisory committee. And when the farmer sends suggestion, basically all the suggestion which crops they are going to produce, it's basically going through coming through the committee. And also our that agriculture clinic staff, they sit with the local community, local farmer individually, and also the advisory committee, and finally come up the solution for this particular season. What would be the best crop? What we are introducing context specific, means some of the in the coastal belt, we always try to add saline tolerant variety. When we are working in a drought area, try to add the drought tolerant species. So we always try to use those lenses so that their crop can get a good production from that particular area with this climatic situation. These are the crop calendar. Basically, they are using in their when we go to any particular community, they do this kind of calendar. And at the same time, every farmer has the book, and that book contains the year-round production system, which kind of crop they are going to like cultivate, which season. That full information is there. And also, again, CCVA framework, we always consider the exposure sensitivity and potential impact, and we always try to see the adaptive capacity for vulnerability assessment. And these are the common activities basically there we are following. For example, climate adaptive input support, which is I already mentioned, that biopesticide, biofertilizer, and also stress tolerant different seeds. Climate resilient farming techniques, yes, some of the techniques is common, like other organization also, and also the government following these techniques. What is the most important part is that we have crop insurance. Basically, BRAC, our microfinance department, they have their agricultural crop insurance. We connect our adaptation clinic with the microfinance so that our farmer can get the insurance when they are producing any crop. It's a seasonal insurance base, and they started in 2021. That time it was 923, and now it's more than 100,000 participants. They are part of this crop insurance. And again, that we have agri storage, which is that our session chair will give more detail, because he is one of the main designer of this agri storage, which is very new in this Bangladesh. And we already have 4 in the ground. So it's basically solar basis, solar system, solar energy we are using. We are not using any electricity, but again, it's not that cold storage. It's a agri storage for sometimes 15 days, sometimes 2 months, not more than that, to keep the farmer their crops into this storage. And this is really very helpful for the community. And we have receiving very good feedback from the community. This is the mulching. This is very common, but mulching is a very effective technique which required less water, and also soil moisture keep there, and the pesticide use also less by using these techniques. And we have all the data, and we have seen it's really good for the community, and also the soil health. This is very, very important for Bangladesh. We really understand the soil health, because the soil, life in the soil, especially in Barin and in the central, it's a very, very different. Many lives in the soil is very high in the our floodplain, rather than Barin, than also coastal belt. That is important. And from Adaptation Clinic, we are really consider these important elements very seriously. This is a unique, basically, strategy from BRAC. We are promoting this pillar system relays, because when we get the information, and also the information from the ground, especially the women of our women participants, they said that every year, every season, try to collect the bamboo and the some of the wood plant for this relays is really, really difficult and time consuming, and they have to pay a good amount of money. And we come up this solution probably, and they said it's the next 15 to 20 years it will survive, and then do not need to cut down any tree or any bamboo. So it's also good for the environment and good for the carbon sequestration, and also it's very sustainable. And we had a really good result after incorporating this technique in the field. So race-based farming, this is also common, and probably you know, and this is some of one example. Sunflower, I think last year, suddenly we decided we have to incorporate sunflower in our coastal belt, especially Patuakhali. BRAC basically started this sunflower journey after 2009. Our founder, Sir Fazle Hassan Abed, he introduced to our agriculture program. But that time it was not that much popular because of the whole value chain process. When last year, when we incorporated that we plant this sunflower, especially in Patuakhali and Satkhira, it was so nice, and the result also mind-blowing, because our farmers still they are using the sunflower oil, and local machine also available, local the value chain also already established. Last year it was total 3,375 acres of land we cultivated, and this year it's more than 4,500. So everybody, you all are most welcome visiting our sunflower field, maybe first week of April. Probably the field are ready to visiting the people who love to see the sunflower. Mobile solar irrigation, it's a very, very good for the community, because they can easily transport this solar panel and put any places, and it's a good result we have seen last couple of months. This is a very good technology we incorporate through our Adaptation Clinic. Mound system agriculture, this is another challenge, and also we practiced in our Satkhira. So those who are interested, I'm not going to tell you the detail. It's a surprise of you. Those who are interested, please go to Satkhira and see this intervention. It will really give you some new insight, especially in the agriculture sector. Agri storage, I already mentioned. This is the design and this is the inside. We really loved it. And if you interested, you can go to Potuakhali, Kolapara, Jamalpur. You will see this intervention. Multi-layer vegetable farming, probably you know that 2 to 3 layers of different vegetable we are producing. And also, this is another thing that in the Barind, what we are planning to do is we cultivate, we just re-excavate the pond, and we are using polythene in the ground, and also put 2 to 3 inch of clay layer, so that water cannot penetrate in the that groundwater, so that people can use this water whole year. That is our we are trying, and this is under especially the piloting. Probably next year we can see the good result of our pilot initiative. Mobile adaptation clinic, this basically when we started, it's adaptation clinic, but at the same time we realized that now a good number of women, they are in the agricultural field, but they need support. And for them, it is not possible to come to the office. So, and sometimes our farmers, they are busy in the field. So that's why we started this mobile adaptation clinic, like every week. Every day we have every union and different places assigned for this adaptation clinic, and we disseminate the information so that people come to that places on the prescribed time, and they get the full support from this adaptation clinic. This is another story. This is really impactful for the local community. Agri machineries, I already mentioned, we provided many different machineries for the community. And vermicompost, it's not a new, but new for that particular area. So local people, they are try to connect these intervention into their system. So it's a surgeon is also common, but we are also following this intervention. Crop diversity intercropping, this is also common. This is like my forest. We have more than 126 or 36 my forest are located different part of the Bangladesh. Most of the my forests are located in Potuakhali. It means the land, if they are not using for any purpose, especially the fallow land for many generation, then we choose this land for small forest. Creating one forest is basically diverse. 3 types of species we providing. One is timber tree, medicinal tree, and fruits tree. And also they are doing some intercropping. We have many good photos. I don't know, probably this is the recent photos are amazing, and people, they love this intervention. And those who are not even or those who have this kind of land, they usually come to our office. And one particular agreement we have to make between the BRAC and the community, that they cannot cut down their trees next 20 years. This is the only option. And this is the insurance I mentioned. When we started our microfinance, they started their journey in 2021. It's 966, and now more than 100,000. These are some of the photos that we are doing, and in the middle of the photo, they are basically testing the soil health, so that they can give the proper instruction to the farmer. What is their soil health and how much fertilizer they are basically using? Of course, we are promoting biofertilizer. These are some of the photos. And thank you. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Abu Shadat Muhammad Munir Khan. It was really detailed and comprehensive. Here we have around 1/3 international participant. Mr. Khan has used one terminology, Barind. Those who are not from Bangladesh and India, Barind is the arid part of Bangladesh. It's commonly shared with Indian state West Bengal, and this is a bit dry land. Thank you, Munir Bhai, again. We have with us Professor Dr. Ahmed Khairul Hassan as one of our discussant. Dr. Hassan is a professor of agronomy, Bangladesh Agriculture University. He is author of more than 162 research papers. His research interest is on crop system modeling, climate smart agriculture, and organic farming. Welcome you, sir, as a discussant, and you have 15 minutes for the discussion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, at first, I want to thank to the organizer to select me as one of the panel discussant. Honorable Chair, keynote speaker, dear organizers, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. Till now, it's 11:45. Actually, the topic is adaptation clinic solution for ensuring food security. It's very relevant, especially for Bangladesh or Bangladesh, like climatically vulnerable countries of the world. And I want to thank BRAC to select this term and this issue, that they are going to the farmers, they are going to the climatically vulnerable areas and resource poor farmers with solutions that they are now facing for climate change or will face in near future. And in the presentation, it's very clear. Actually, if I go for discussion with the technologies, these are more or less, this will be the repetition. But one thing is important, that BRAC, I had an opportunity to visit visit one adaptation clinic in Potuakhali, and they are doing great. Actually, they have a very smart team, and they are working together. In a nutshell, if I can tell, that BRAC is introducing new things from the from 80s, 90s until now, and now working with some old issues, some new issues. For example, crop insurance, it's a very crucial thing. Now, government is also trying to emphasizing on crop insurance, but the working, I think the working style, working procedure of BRAC will be very effective for the ultra poor farmers. Working with climate adapting machineries, which is very, very important for the farmers. And another important thing is solar-based agri-storage. As you know, we have a huge problem of electricity in Bangladesh. So if BRAC can be successful by introducing this solar-based agri-storage, it will be great help for the farmers. And BRAC is working in this adaptation clinic with mulching. We know mulching is old technology, but very effective, and it will never be old, because mulching addresses salt problem, cold problem, drought problem. So it's a very good technology, and unfortunately our farmers still now, it is some may may some of our farmer can take this technology, but till now it is not in adoption capacity of the farmers are very poor. So I think BRAC can work there very much to adopt this technology. Interestingly, BRAC is working with intercropping systems. Where I work much, actually, if intercropping gives crop intensification and crop diversification as well. Actually, we have limited land or problematic land. So if we can raise more than one crop together by investing similar amount of inputs, it will be great help for farmer and to minimize cost of production, and productivity will be increased. For example, now maize is cultivating Bangladesh wide. Maize is we need maize grain for our poultry and dairy farms. For that reason, maize is producing throughout the country, but there is a huge scope for intercropping. Another thing is intercropping. BRAC, I don't know BRAC is working with this or not, because in a presentation it's very difficult to present everything. Another interesting technology may be introduced in the southern part of country with intercropping of chewing type sugarcane based agriculture. As we know, sugarcane is a very saline tolerant, salt tolerant crop, and it is a year-round crop. So BRAC can try this sunflower-based intercropping, sugarcane-based, chewing type sugarcane-based intercropping. As you know, we have in Bangladesh a very good chewing type sugarcane variety, Rongbilash. Easily it can be adopted, and farmers obviously will be benefited. Because there is a huge demand in the market for chewing type intercropping. Another thing is BRAC is working with actually farmers demand-led holistic service to attain food security. Most important thing is that you are advising, you are giving solution with climate smart variety, climate smart technology. You are facilitating marketing. That's the important thing. A couple of days before, I have read a news that some capsicum farmers are crying because they have huge production of capsicum, but unfortunately, they don't have the marketing facilities. Most importantly, BRAC is facilitating marketing with, especially for sunflower farmers. That's why sunflower is, as you know, sunflower is a very good option for saline soil. So in addition, if you can facilitate oil production, processing, and refining in that area, that would be more effective to disseminate sunflower in the fallow land, as you have mentioned. However, I will not talk much. And another thing is you can increase your adaptation clinic if you have the capability or planning or investment plan in the some other climatically challenged area or resource poor area. For example, in Garo Pahar area of Mymensingh, in Haur area of Mymensingh, Netrokona, Kishoreganj, and Brahmanbaria, in hill tracts area of Chittagong, and in some area of Sylhet. As you know, we have some ethnic groups in Chittagong hill tracts, Garo Pahar, or Sylhet. They are actually climatically vulnerable, and they are underprivileged. They are resource poor. So you always work with underprivileged, resource poor people. So I think you can extend your work there. Another interesting thing, you are working with surgeon system, where you have shown that vegetable and fish can be fish can be raised together. It's a very good technology in the wetland area of southern, especially Borishal Patuakhali region, where I have seen there are some traditional surgeon system where they are producing, they are cultivating Shorupkati piara and fish and vegetable in the trellis. So you also can add there is a very there are some good guava varieties in Bangladesh. You can introduce some improved variety of guava, and then fish in the canal and vegetable in the upper side. I think it will be more productive for the farmers. So I will finish here. Thank you very much to give me the opportunity.
Thanks a lot, Professor Hassan, for detailing your comments there, and you have suggested already a few good action for us. And the objective that Mr. Khan shared, that the adaptation clinic, it will be a good model for the globe to cope with the adverse climate. Here in Bangladesh, he in his keynote paper and even in your discussion has highlighted 2 areas and locations, but it quietly be possible in other ecosystem of the world, even in Africa, in the drought-prone areas, even in the cold domain savanna areas also. This is a model that BRAC is hoping that in future it can be replicated in a wider major ecosystem. Now I'll go to Dharitri Kumar Sarkar. He is the Deputy Secretary of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change of People's Republic of Bangladesh. Sarkar is one of the leading climate actors, administrator and the bureaucrat of our government. And he's a good, I mean, he has a nice contribution apart from the climate change that I really acknowledge here in this global conference. He's author to good Bangla books. The Bangla is our native language. Books. 2 of his books is Poribesh Golpo Kotha and Poribesh Prakriti Jiban. He's the same like our chair, graduate from Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology, as well as University of Greenwich. Welcome, Dharitri. I called him Dada.
Thank you, Tapusda, the moderator of this program, for giving me the opportunity. At the same time, I want to convey my gratitude to Climate Change Program of BRAC for inviting me here. And at the outset, I just convey my thanks to Mr. Munirujjaman for his nice presentation. Actually, the topic of today's program, this was very much interesting and very much necessary and useful for Bangladesh. The topic was Adaptation Clinic and Solutions for Food Security. We all know Bangladesh is an agrarian land, and a good number of people of Bangladesh is associated with the agriculture. And at the same time, Bangladesh is a populous country. So we need to feed a lot of people. For food security is a very good concern of the country. So, and at the same time, we also know that Bangladesh is a climate vulnerable country. Every year we face different sort of calamities like flood, cyclones, heat waves, and other natural calamities. So, thwarting all these problems, all these calamities, all these disasters, we need to ensure the food for the people of Bangladesh. And for this reason, when we think about the climate change, when we think about the vulnerability, our prime work is to think about the food security. And when I was listening the presentation of Mr. Munirujjaman about the activities of Adaptation Clinic, actually, we are thinking that we are at the hub of the locally led adaptation and the nature-based solutions, which in this time we need most. as many people from different parts of the world are connected here. So at this moment, I want to give an overview about the activities of adaptation, activities and adaptation policy planning of Bangladesh government, actually which is being implemented by the government and other development partners like BRAC. Bangladesh in 2005, we prepared the National Adaptation Program of Actions. And in this National NAPA, National Adaptation Program of Actions, we identified 15 broad areas where we need to implement for the adaptation activities toward the adverse effect of climate change. And then we prepared the Bangladesh Climate Change Strategy and Action Plan, BCCSF, in 2009. And after that, we prepared the National Adaptation Plan in 2022. And very recently, 2023, we prepared the Mujib Climate Prosperity Plan. And in our National Adaptation Plan, there is a very good emphasis on the agricultural sector. In this agricultural sector, in our National Adaptation Plan, we have talked about 12 broad initiatives and 12 broad interventions, which include the climate smart technologies, use of surface water for irrigation, smart agriculture, stress-tolerant rice and other vegetable varieties, and also efficient fertilizer use and impact-based early warning system. And in our National Adaptation Plan, we have identified this sort of interventions, these 12 interventions. And when Mr. Munirujjaman was telling about the adaptation clinic, at the work of the adaptation clinic, he has touched almost many areas of this. He has told about the early warning system, on which the adaptation clinic is working. They told about the efficient machineries, efficient fertilizer use, and the smart technologies which the farmers of Bangladesh can use. And when I was listening about the adaptation clinic, they are telling about four main things: food security, climate change adaptation and mitigation, social protection and empowerment, and financial inclusion also. In these activities, they also thought about the mitigation activities, just afforestation, and afforestation is fallow lands and the barren lands. And in some areas, in the homestead areas, they have taught the people to think about the vegetable farming and other farming also. So when the adaptation clinic is working with these people, with the adaptation activities, we are also getting some benefit in the mitigation areas also. So yeah, actually, this is a legendary initiative of climate change program of BRAC, which they are working and in which areas this adaptation clinic is working. One thing is very much interesting, and I thought it is a very good initiative. In every week, the experts of adaptation clinic, they are going to the door of the farmer. Then the farmer are getting their advice sitting in their home. And this is a legendary initiative for the farmers of Bangladesh, because you know, generally the farmers of Bangladesh, they are not getting the support, and sometimes they don't get time to go to the remote areas to get the advice. But when the people who are giving the advice, who will give the advice, they are coming to their door, then they can ask different questions very open-mindedly. Then they does not need to filter the questions. Then they can learn what they actually need. And in this adaptation clinic area and in this area, I have seen that so far perhaps 13 adaptation clinic is working in 6 areas. And I am very much privileged, and I have the opportunity to visit 2 adaptation clinic areas in Ashashoni, Satkhira, and Mongla. So I have got the direct experience and got the opportunity to know the benefits of the peasants and our farmers from their own mouth. It was a very knowledge increasing session for me also. So I will request BRAC, like the previous panelist, if it is possible to accelerate in different parts of the country in some other areas, so it will be very much helpful. Because you know, actually Bangladesh is not a very large land. Bangladesh more or less small area, but we have different sort of geographical areas. In this area, we have the coastal areas, we have the burdened areas, we have the Howard areas. At the same time, we have the hill areas, and the adaptation needs of different areas are very much different. So if we can take this sort of initiative in different parts of the country and different geographical locations, then it will be very much helpful for the people of those areas. And I think when I tell about the government initiative, government plans, which I was telling about our National Adaptation Plan, our Mujib Climate Prosperity Plan, and in these plans, the government wants to implement some projects and programs. And today, which I was listening from Mr. Monirujjaman, this is fully in line with our activities, with our implementation plan also. So I again thank BRAC. I again thank CCP wing of BRAC for this sort of initiatives. And I also upon whom I thank for today's chair and today's presenter and today's moderator and to the listeners also. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks a lot, Dharitri Kumar Sarkar. And Dharitrida has detailed some experience that he has from visiting our adaptation clinic. Now we have 20 minutes for question and answer. So the process, Marina, is if I'm right, just raise your hand and then you can ask the question, and even also you can write in the chat box. And we have two of our colleagues here to give us the ideas from what came in the chat box. So the floor is open for question and answer. And if your question is not to the speaker, keynote speaker, to moderators and chair, please mention to whom you are asking. So yet to have any questions, you can write in the chat box also.
Dear moderator,
Yeah.
if you just permit me, I want to ask a question to the presenter.
Yeah, sure, please.
Actually, you were telling about the crop insurance, and in the first year it was very less than 1,000, and now the number of this is very high, we can tell. And many times we are thinking about the crop insurance, and we are also thinking about some thing. Actually, who can pay the premium also? And I want to know, in your case, for this crop insurance, actually, who are paying the premium? And if the farmers are giving the premium, then they are feeling it very interesting, or it is also creating load, financial load on them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Dharitrida, for the question. If Munirbai is there, if he's not, I'll request Tosif Bhai to respond on the question from Dharitrida about the premium paying and the insurance. And we also have other questions. So gradually we'll ask you.
Yeah, thank you, Tabartha, and thank you, sir, for asking the question. So for our experience from the BRAC Microfinance, the premium are paying by the farmers. So we are not paying the premium from any project. Farmers are paying the premium, and obviously they are, finding it interesting and it's addressing their needs. So that's why they are coming ahead to have the crop insurance from BRAC. And gradually we are expanding it. Already we have covered the northern districts. this year, this service will be available in the southern districts too. And from our learnings, what we have found that the smallholder farmers are more interested. And this is, mainly the yield-based insurance. So if the farmer got damage due to any climatic issues or any weather issues, so they get, they can claim against their premium, and they are getting, some support from as per their agreement. So they're finding it very much interesting to them, and mainly for the climate vulnerable areas. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I like to join here, because
Please.
the point Dharitrada is making, definitely insurance is such a product which is helpful to build the resilience of the farmer. But at the same time, he's talking about if farmer has to pay the premium, it will be a burden for them. Because in Bangladesh, there are several pilots. Because in our BRAC model, we are very liberal. Yes, we are saying farmer is paying, but it's so minimal. BRAC is doing that not for profit, because we have our microfinance product with them, and they are our loan holder. So we have earning from them. So we try to help them. Premium is very, very minimal, and trigger system is very simplified. We know the average production. If there is not average production, we'll simply entitle their claim. So it's very simple and easy, so that this insurance can be practiced in Bangladesh in large scale, and people are getting interested. Gradually, we have to come up with a very complicated system, because now we are dealing with crop production. If you go for flood or something inundation base, then the critical things will become. But we are not looking for profit. We are just trying to help the people, because they are our loan holder. So we are not thinking about very simplified manner.
Okay, thank you, Bhai. And but another question was from Mr. Mahbub. He is willing to know whether you have any plan to extend or expand the adaptation clinic up to Shondip, the remotest island of inside the Sea of Bangladesh.
Okay, I saw that question, so I will try to cover it up at the end of my conclusion.
Okay, thank you. We have other more questions. One is the same questions for this river and islands, island that are inside the river, if we have any plan. Another question regarding the birding track from Jillur Rahman. I'm sure this is, since it's asked to the government of Bangladesh, if Dharitrada can respond on this. I'm reading this question. Low level of underground water in birding track. In this situation, what can Bangladesh government do for reducing it?
Thank you. Actually, it is a good question, and actually the burdening issue, we can tell it because our water table under the ground, that is also going downward, and the government has taken some projects and programs to use the river water at this water, reducing the use of underground water. And in this sector, actually, our Water Development Board and BMD, Water Resources Ministry, those are working to they are working in this sector actually. Thank you.
Welcome, Dharitrada, and for this answer. And there is a request from Mr. Kamaluddin, CEO, Icon Foundation Bangladesh, regarding the presentation. I'm requesting our ICAT colleagues to make sure that whether he will got this. Another question from Rafiqul Islam. He's asking actually on the eco-friendly solutions of food security and answering the food scarcity. If Tosibhai or Lekut Bhai can answer on this.
Yeah, I can start, then let
By
of
Cal,
Cal-
yeah.
yeah. When we are working in the ground, mainly in the southern part, we know that the salinity inclusion is the one of the major problem in south. But while we are working in the ground, we have also observed that not only the salinity, water scarcity in the dry season is also a major problem for the coastal areas. So we are trying to store the rainwater in different canals and ponds so that this water can be used in the dry season, mainly from December to March. So thus actually we are trying to manage irrigation sources through nature-based solution. This is one example I have shared. And for crop management, we don't go for chemical pesticide at the beginning. We start with the IPM, integrated pest management, and through different techniques using bioproducts and biopesticides. So these are the two examples I have shared. So from the clinic activities, actually we are very cautious on the eco-friendly method as we are doing work from the climate change lens. So we try to identify the eco-friendly systems, and we care about the ecosystem in the ground. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tosibhai. Now there is another question. Definitely, it's for you. The mulching system is using polythene. Is there any alternative options rather than using polythene? It's you, and I also request Professor Ahmed Khairul Hassan to add with you.
Yes. So we are currently using two types of materials for mulching. One is made by polythene, and another is like straw or any local materials. So we are also using natural mulching method. But for polythene, actually it can be used for many years, not only for a single crop. So that's why this is not a single time use. So if any farmer buy polythene like material for mulching, he or she can use it for multiple years. So it does, the cost will be reduced and it can be used for many years. And also they are using straw and other materials which are nature based.
Really good.
So,
Yeah,
Badal,
okay. Before Professor Ahmed join, I like to add, use of plastic definitely a concern. But as Tausif Bhai is mentioning, single-use plastic is a problem. But if it is thickness is more, and if it is recyclable, so then it is not a problem, because for mulching you have to store the soil moisture. So we deliberately sometimes choose thick plastic. It can be used multiple times. At the same time, it can be recyclable.
Okay. Professor Khairul Hussain, if you are here. Okay. There is another suggestion, and we are thankful to Nusrat Jerin. She actually asked on the adaptation clinics needs to be expanded to the farmers with disabilities as well. How BRAC is making those intervention inclusive for persons with disabilities. I think if Tosibhai can add, or I'll request Bhai when he will have the closing remarks and actually give us some direction there. Those who are from the part of Africa and Arab, we called each other Bhai. Bhai means here in our Bangladesh is brother. It's not a surname here. Tosibhai.
So,
yeah, thank you, Dada. So from the clinic, actually, we work for the vulnerable farming communities, and it's for all of the people who live there. But for where we provide support, inputs, machineries, and other support, so we want to provide the most disadvantaged and the poor people from those communities. So we have some selection criteria for selecting the vulnerable people. So among those criteria, one of the criteria is the people with having different sorts of challenges, what we call disabled people. So this is one of our core criteria. So if we find any person with disability, then we prefer them, enrolling into our services with their families. So basically we work with the household approach, and we try to find out the activities for this person which can be suited with his physical situation. So we care about them, and we try to prioritize the people with disability into our programming. Thank you.
Thank you, Tosibhai. And probably we have a hand raised from Kamaluddin. If someone from Gobeshona can unmute him. Okay. Was it possible? Or colleagues from Gobeshona? Is it technically possible to unmute them? Otherwise, I'll read the question from Kamaluddin, CU Icon Foundation. Okay, I'm
giving permission to unmute.
okay. Mr. Kamaluddin, CU Icon Foundation, you are permitted to be unmute. You can answer live now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for BRAC for very nice presentation. It actually was a mind-blowing. BRAC is a big organization with having a very big microfinance programs. They can arrange a subsidy for premium for insurance. But we are very small organization working here in Chorland and our area. But how can we minimize this premium? As because it's a very much for BRAC, but who are a small organization working over there, for them it is very difficult. I would like to expect an expert answer of this. Thank you very much.
If Tosibhai can answer response now with this.
I will cover it when I will conclude.
Okay, so we have one more hand raised. We can ask this, and after that we'll close our question answer session. Muhammad Rafiqul Islam. Okay, this question actually is straight to Dhoitrida. How does the government of Bangladesh collaborate with international organizations and NGOs to strengthen the adaptation measures and ensure food security? Dhoitrida.
Actually, if you repeat the question, then it will be helpful for me.
How does the government of Bangladesh collaborate with international organizations and NGOs to strengthen adaptation measures and ensure food security?
Actually, very good question. Actually, the government is planning, ensuring to reduce the adverse effect of climate change, and at the same time, it is the main initiative of the government to ensuring the food security for the people. For this, regarding the climate change issues in the climate change sector, Bangladesh is playing a very pivotal role in the international arena. Bangladesh till now is an LDC country, and Bangladesh, as the LDC country, it was not mandatory for Bangladesh to submit the nationally determined contribution NDC. But Bangladesh in the first phase in 2015, on 25th September, Bangladesh has submitted the nationally determined NDC. And in the UNFCCC COP process and other processes, Bangladesh is playing a very proactive role in the climate change issues. In the Climate Vulnerable Forum, there is an organization of the climate vulnerable country. Bangladesh was the chair two times in this, and in the 2022 in this 2 years, Bangladesh was the chair of this Climate Vulnerable Forum. And our Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh she was leading this organization. And during this time, we have prepared the Mujib Climate Prosperity Plan. And Bangladesh was the first country to prepare this. And at the same time, with the international collaboration, as you know, for our adaptation activities and our mitigation activities, actually we need a huge amount of money. And we have the National Adaptation Plan, we have the MCPP, and we need $230 billion for US dollar for implementation of NAP. We need $90 billion US dollar for implementing the MCPP. So obviously we need the international collaboration. So for all of this, Bangladesh is making a good communication with the international arena. And at the same time, if you tell about the development partners of Bangladesh and in the international organizations also, the government is always in a discussion with these bodies, because the government believes that when we tell about the adaptation, we tell about the food security, actually it is not the possible for only government to implement this or achieve all these things. So government is always taking activities and initiatives with the whole of society approach. And we always believe that it is our motto to keeping no one behind and the whole of society approach. So when the government is working or government is implementing any program, we are taking with us the international partners, international development partners, the local NGOs and the international NGOs with all of us. And we think with the initiative of all of us, the government sector and the private sector and other sector, we will build a green world, and green Bangladesh will ensure the food security for all the people. And we will reduce the adverse effect of climate change. Thank you.
We have questions from Rafiqul Islam, Pankaj, and Manish here. Manushi Bhaiya, almost all are related to sustainability. Manushi Bhaiya asked about the soil testing tools, and I'm requesting you, the participant, that we will not get any more questions. So Tosif Bhai, if you can please answer Manushi Bhaiya's question, and then I'll request our chair, Honorable Chair, to answer the question, and as well as making the concluding remarks. And with his speech, the session today will be concluded. Many thanks from my part to the discussant and the presenter. Over to Tosif Bhai and then to Bhai.
Yeah, thank you, Taposhda. We have different types of soil testing tools or soil testing kits with us. So one of the device which was mentioned by Monirjan Bhai, we imported it from the outside, and through this device we can measure major soil nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and also soil salinity, pH, temperature. These basic things we can actually measure through this device. And we have this machine in all of our adaptation clinics, and it is really useful to know the nutrient status of the particular land, so that we can prescribe, justified use of fertilizers for them. And
Thank you,
also
Tosif
knowing
Bhai.
the pH and salinity, it's also helpful, for prescribing the crops for that particular area. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tosif Bhai. Now I'm requesting Liaquat Bhai to have this all answers and concluding remarks.
Distinguished participant, distinguished panelist, Mr. Dharitri Kumar Sarkar, Professor Ahmed Khairul, and also the keynote presenter. It's good afternoon. All we know today, those who we are working in the climate change sector, climate change is actually a reality now. It is a reality by observing, and also by recorded data. And when we are working with climate change, we have to understand one thing. This climate change matter is not a static thing. It's a dynamic thing. The location where we are working today, the condition, I mean the salinity, the droughtness, pH, and everything will change, and there is a possibility of increasing, not decreasing. So for that, I think it is very, very important for adaptation clinic to project future scenario, because we have started our journey. It's about almost 1.5 to 2 years, and very much keep in mind the climate vulnerable hotspot. As already discussed in this discussion, there are few climatic hotspots: hilly region, flash flood region, central flood flow zone, and coastal zone, and drought prone area. So we have a plan to gradually go to every hotspot. We started our journey through a central flood flow zone in Jamalpur, Devanganj, in Chaur area. And then we moved to coastal zone, and then we moved to our Barind area and the drought prone area. So we have a plan. Gradually, we'll move to other part of the hotspot. While we are discussing or started, we have keep in mind, because if you rank first of all, every sector will be affected due to climate change or affecting due to climate change. But if you rank, the first and foremost sector will be agriculture and food security. And for that, this discussion today is very, very vital and important. And when you are talking about agriculture, it does not mean we are talking only krishikaj. I mean the plant and soil and water. So agriculture means we have to think about livestock. We have to think about fisheries. So we have a plan. We started with agriculture, but gradually we will include livestock and fisheries in our adaptation clinic also. And as you see, everywhere in the globe nowadays, there is a huge discussion and urge to talk about or to start about smart agriculture. So when you discussed or start talking smart agriculture, it means you have to consider mitigation, because our agriculture sector is also responsible for emission. Country like Bangladesh, whether it is relevant or irrelevant, we are not going to discuss that issue, but we have to go there. We have to think about smart agriculture. But our entry point is adaptive agriculture, and then gradually move it into the smart agriculture. And we realized by working, you have seen people wants to come to our adaptation clinic. It's a kind of office. People are there to give advice. But sometimes to cover those are not willing to come and cannot come, like disabled people or any community, there is a procedure like adaptation, mobile adaptation clinic. We go to the farm and then we try to cover that things. And we realize in our journey, we have to have, because from the day one, we are very careful about sustainability, because things we are doing, it's giving benefit to the farmer, no doubt. And it's an adaptation, no doubt. But how long it will be sustained? So for that reason, we have included within BRAC, we have a BIGD, Institute of Governance, BRAC Institute of Governance, and also Social Innovation Lab. We have a collaboration with them to make some research so that which way we are going, how much deviation, how much modification we need. And also we have a partnership with MIT to implement a project in Bangladesh. It's about future projection. And it's a 5-year project, and it's called CruiseNet, Climate Resilient Early Warning System. It will forecast temperature, rainfall, inundation, salinity. You know, from global to region to country specific projection will be done. And we have very good satellite data. Earlier, it was 50 kilometer by 50 kilometer. Now it is 5 kilometer by 5 kilometer. High resolution modeling data. And after that, we'll have projection. Based on that, our adaptation work in the clinic will be adjusted. And for that, we have partnership with Yale University to test our case. And also we have partnership with MIT. And we have partnership with Patuakhali Science and Technology University. And very recently, we are going to sign an MOU with Mominsing Agriculture University, so that the things we are doing, it's not only a matter of brand. Other partners can have the opportunity to participate and contribute so that we can do better in the future. Coming back to agri-storage. As Monir Bhai was mentioned, it's not actually cold storage. Because normally what we experienced in the central flood zone, they have a good harvest of chili, maize, and other cereal crops. But when they harvest, immediately market price goes down. So they have to sell it with a very minimum price. They don't have enough space to store it at least for 3, 4, 5 months. When market price goes up, they can sell it and they can benefit from it. So then we come up with the 2 model, because in early we saw every farmer has a gola as a storage facility. If you see our picture, it's a design of a gola. It's a storage, keeping their context. We designed 2 intervention. One is household level, raise their gola in such a way it cannot get inundated during flooding. And another one is a community base. We deliberately try to keep it low cost and very low effective, because community can see this benefit and replicate it greater. And you see, there is a question from the discussion, what about replication? Because whatever things we started in BRAC, we always keep in things, and because our founder always says, small is beautiful, but scaling is essential. So we started with 3 locations. Now we have 13 adaptation clinic. Fortunately, we have funding from different banks, from social corporate responsibility, and also we have funding from abroad. And very recently, we have funding from USAID. So we will definitely expand it, and we will keep our research doing, because it will be a sustainable one. Regarding crop insurance, I earlier replied, but you know, BRAC doing crop insurance work with the support from donor, because we have some donor. Even though we kept the premium very low, so that it can be, because the practice of insurance is needed, because insurance increase the resilience, and it's a form of adaptation, and private sector can participate. So that's why we are trying to make it familiarized and popular in this country, because there are insurance, health insurance, and we are also working with another insurance, is called livestock insurance. So we are thinking about another insurance, it's called heat insurance, because due to heat, people are going to get their productive working hours. So how that can be compensated. And you know, we know the invariant area, the water table will go down and down. To minimize that, we come up with a pilot. So we dig a pond and we keep at the lower a plastic with a clay layer so that the amount of water stored from the rain, it retains up till the next year comes. So there will be no seepage and percolation. So that is one pilot we are trying. So if that works, I know Dharitrada already answered. There are some government initiative to augmentation and divert some water from the major rivers to that region. If it is possible, that will be beneficial. Other than that, we are trying, keep on trying. Yes, presentation can be shared in PDF form. And regarding plastic, I have already answered. And disability and people who cannot come into our center, for them, we are thinking about mobile adaptation clinic. Maybe we can increase the number. And tools, I think it is already answered what type of tools we are using. At the end, I like to thanks again to the keynote presenter, the well honorable discussion and panelists, and distinguished participant to participate in this discussion. I like to thanks to ICAD and the organizer. And I like to end by recognizing and say my salute to Dr. Selimul Haq, who we just lost very recently. So thank you very much. See you in the next coming days. So this is the end of our session today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
We can leave now. Yeah. Bye.